My name is Betsy Reed, and I am a leadership mentor, leadership professor, author, and a podcast host. My podcast is called The Discomfort Practice. The clue's in the name. I'm obsessed with the value of discomfort. I like that question because being queer is something I only discovered about myself in, say, my mid-20s. And because I am a fairly straight-passing bisexual woman, it hasn't been something that I've really claimed for myself until recently. And I think that it's so important right now in particular that those of us who do identify as queer, as just not heterosexual, and there are many of us, take up that space and actually are more visible about it. So to be honest, it hasn't really impacted me negatively in any way, because by the time I have decided to claim this more publicly and be this more publicly, I'm in a fairly powerful place in my career. So I probably am coming at this from a very different perspective than others, but I hope that that opens the way for others to feel safe and powerful enough to claim the label queer for themselves much earlier in their careers as they rise to leadership themselves. I have a really good relationship with the term queer, and it's been a word that has allowed me to enter this community because it hasn't always felt the most welcoming, because I'm not gay and I'm not straight. So I've always felt like I'm not gay enough to take up space, I'm not straight enough to be straight, and being queer means there's space for all of us to be whatever it is we are that isn't just heteronormative, and there are so many of us. So for me, queer means everything that's not absolutely straight as an arrow heterosexual. And it leaves a lot of space for people who might be more on the heterosexual end of the spectrum and those who are way on the other end and everybody in between. So for me, queer is just being your glorious self and knowing that there's space for you and a community for you. This is an interesting one because I said in my answer to the last question that I feel very new to the queer community because I haven't felt comfortable here before, really. So what I think is really needed in the community and in its leadership is to not replicate the discrimination, the narrow thinking, the binary thinking that we're trying to break up with in the heteronormative world from which a lot of us have defined ourselves against or come from or found discrimination in. So I want to urge people who are in this community to not become what we hate, to not become the thing that has traumatized us and harmed us and not allowed us to really embrace our queerness, perhaps. So what I would like to see is everyone, not just people who are in positions of leadership, take on the mantle of leadership to make this community one that is truly welcoming to everyone, and a place where everyone can be safe and can be themselves, no matter where they are on that scale.